Hello people of YouTube, I'm Logan in the Nerdist Kingdom, or as I should say now, I'm the Nerd Logan. Okay, so this is my first video on my new channel because I just want to make an off-branch and make my own channel. So I'm just going to be doing the same stuff I would be doing on Nerdist Kingdom, but I'm not just going to be doing this alone. So please ignore that. And as well, today is the release for the Dark Illusion, so as you can see by that, my mat and my new deck, we are going to be looking at the Metalfoes. So the Metalfoes are right now, even as we speak, a meta deck in Japan. So, and this is a deck I've been interested in ever since I saw it. So, and because of a well-traded Nirvana High Paladin, I got the deck complete just before the set has fully been released. So, the Metalfoes are a new Draco Slayer deck that revolve around destroying their own cards to set their spell and traps, and go into fusion summoning for insane Metalfoe fusions. So let's stop that and get into the deck. So first off, I use 3 Metalfoes Volflame. Now all Metalfoes as well have the same pendulum effect similar to that of the Ignites. All Metalfoes destroy a face-up spell or face-up card you control, and then set a Metalfoe spell or trap from deck. So Wolfram here is an 8 scale with 24 by 2000 attack and defense. Now, primarily, he's just the big guy you use for attacking. Next, we have 3 Metalfoes Gold Driver. A level 4 that's a 1 scale, 18 by 500. Next, we have Metalfoes Silvered, or as I sometimes still say, Silverbird, because that is its name in the OCG, which is a level 3 1 scale 17 by 1. And the last Metalfoe at the moment is Metalfoe Steelin or Steelerin, who's a 8 scale, which is 0 by 21. Now for a level 2, that is some serious defense. And excuse me. And personally, these Metalfoes are insane, but with some extra help, they can work. So we now have some Master Pendulum, the Draco Slayer. By targeting a card in any pendulum scale and destroying it, that's just what he does. Yeah, now if you guys have already figured this out, this deck is full of a ton of non-effect monsters, which is kind of disappointing, but has some potential. But we also use 3 Magispector Unicorn Kirin. Since the scale with Metalfoes is 1 to 8, Kirin can fit in here as a level 6. Now Kirin can not be targeted or destroyed by opponent's card effects, so he's great there. And once per turn, you can target a pendulum monster you control and a monster your opponent controls and return them to hand, which really helps out because this can even be activated during either player's turn, but you can only activate it once per turn. So this is really good for returning those monsters your opponent. This is good for returning pesky monsters you can't just destroy normally that your opponent controls. And finally, for monsters, we have 1 Luster Pendulum, the Draco Slayer, where you can destroy a card in your opposing pendulum scale and add the exact same monster from your deck to your hand, which comes in handy. For spells, we have 3 of the field spell Metamorph Formation. Formation here, first off, gives all Metalfoes 300 extra attack and defense, and makes all non-effect Metalfoes unaffected by your opponent's card effects. Now, in OCG, that's only up to 4, but the rest of the Metalfoes are non-effect, which really helps out. Next off, we have the most ridiculous card of the Metalfoes, Metalfoe Fusion, which I am so glad we made super here in TCG, because this is just a beautiful card. Now, Metalfoe fusion is just a basic polymerization for Metalfoes at first by using materials from your hand or field to fusion summon a Metalfoe monster from your extra deck. Now, the ridiculous effect of this thing is, once per turn while it's in the graveyard, you can shuffle it back into your deck, then draw a card. And with the recent OCG ban list, I'm surprised this hasn't been touched, because this card is ridiculous. Next, I use 2 Unexpected Die. This is a card you probably aren't familiar with because most decks don't use this, but Unexpected Die, as long as you control no monsters, you special summon a level 4 or lower normal monster from your deck. This is really good for bringing out characters like Gold Driver or Master Pendulum, and if needed, Silvered and Stealing. But to bring out Stealing or Silvered, you can also use Emergency Teleport. Since all the Metalfoes are as well as Psychic type monsters, Emergency Teleport is great for bringing out a level 3 or lower Psychic type monster from your deck or hand, but it's banished during the end phase. Now, this can really be easy because as long as you have a Metalfoe in scale, you can simply destroy it and then pendulum it back without worries of it being banished. Or fusion summoning with it as well. Now at the moment, I'm using these 2 Mystical Space Typhoons, but I will replace these with Twin Twisters. MST here is just destroy a spell or trap card on the field, and Twin Twister is discard 1 card from your hand and destroy up to 2 spell or trap cards on the field. The only reason I don't have my Twin Twisters here is because they were in my Black Wings and they have gone missing at the moment. So in the future, just remember these are going to be Twin Twisters. And finally, for spells, we have Book of Moon, which is turn 1 card on the field to face down defense position. You'll understand why I've run this because of one of the Metalfoe fusions in the future. Now for traps, I use 3 Metalfoes combination. Combination's first effect is once per turn when you fusion summon a Metalfoe fusion monster, you can special summon a Metalfoe from your graveyard whose level is less than that of the fusion summon monster. And 2 of the Metalfoes being level 8 and 9, this really comes in handy in case of Metalfoes that are sent to graveyard by Solemn Warning or by use of fusion summon from hand. And is great for also bringing back other Metalfoe fusion monsters. Now, its second effect is whenever this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can add 1 Metalfoe from your deck to hand. This can be really good because even you can destroy it as well, because when face up, you can use the Metalfoe scales to destroy it. And this card is just come in handy. And next we have Metalfoes Counter. Counter is the only common back row of the Metalfoes, which I am surprised about. But Metalfoe Counter is whenever a Metalfoe card you control is destroyed, or wait, is it just a regular card? If a card you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon 1 Metalfoe from your deck. This is really good for whenever you lose your last monster, or even just a pendulum scale, you can just simply special summon any Metalfoe you need. And as well, after the turn this card wasn't sent to graveyard, you can banish it and return a face-up Metalfoe from your extra deck to your hand. This is really good for replenishing your scale in case if one of your scales or both of your scales is destroyed. And it is a good quick effect as well, so this is why I run at 3, so I can replenish my scales if needed. And the final card for the main deck I use is Quaking Mirror Force. This was a hard card for me to get 2 of because these things are expensive. But Quaking Mirror Force is whenever your opponent declares an attack, change all attack positions your opponent controls to face down defense position, and they can't change their battle position. Again, a good effect for the upcoming Metalfoe fusion that you are going to enjoy. Alright, so that is it for main deck. Now let's get into the extra deck. And to start off, we use 3 Metalfoes Oracle, or as I still sometimes call them, Aura Hulk. Again, I'm too confused. Aura Hulk is at the moment the only Metalfoe fusion with an effect, and his effect is giving all Metalfoes you control double piercing damage. This is the reason for the Book of Moon and Quaking Mirror forces. Now, double piercing damage means whenever you inflict battle damage from a defense position, the damage is doubled, which is overkill because it gives it to all Metalfoes as well. So, yeah. And the second effect is whenever he's destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can target a card your opponent controls and destroy it. They can give this guy an extra oomph if they had. Then we've got Magister Paladin, the Ascending Draco Slayer. Whenever he's XC summoned during the end phase, you can add one Pendulum monster from your deck to hand, and as well you can detach a material to special summon a Draco Slayer from your extra deck face up, and it can't be used as XC's material. This is primarily just a big bunch of combinations so you can use the Draco Slayers as, yeah. Then we've got two Metalfoes Crimsonite. Crimsonite is just a non-effect 3000 by 3000 that just needs a Metalfoe and two monsters with 25. Is it 25? No, with 3000 or less attack. So he's very simple to fusion summon. And since he's a non-effect, he can be even protected by your Metamorph formations. Then we've got two Dinoster Mighty, the powerful Draco Slayer, which can protect your scales from being destroyed by opponents' card effects, and even protect your own Pendulum monsters from battle or card effect as well. This is really good so you can keep your scales and your Pendulum monsters alive if you don't have, and this is good for Metalfoes if you don't have a Metamorph formation. And as well, he can special summon a Pendulum Draco Slayer from your graveyard, but can't be used as fusion material. And actually, you don't even need a fusion spell to make this guy. All you need to do is tribute a Draco Slayer Pendulum monster and one other Pendulum monster to fusion summon him. Contact fusion. What a great thing. And we have one Metalfoes Adamante. Now, I maybe bump him up to 2, but I just couldn't find a second one. But Adamante is, again, a non-effect Metalfoe fusion that just needs a Metalfoe and a monster with 2,000... Is it 25 or 25 or less attack? Which is really handy, and he can be even re-summoned from the graveyard if you fusion summon at Orichalc or Crimsonite with combination, since he is only a level 5, and Crimsonite is a 9 and Orichalc is an 8. So he's real good to bring back. And we have Ignister Prominence, the Blasting Draco Slayer, who first off can destroy a Pendulum monster on the field or in scale to shuffle back a card your opponent controls, and it does not target, which makes that effect even worse. And I played this in Dynamist recently, and this saved my butt by shuffling back a 7 cents. I can see why they made this thing 1 now. But aside the point, and as well, you can special summon a Draco Slayer from your deck in defense mode, but it cannot be used as synchro material, which is awesome. Next off, we have Digusto Emerald. I didn't think about his usability until I made this deck, because in this deck, you can actually use both of his effects. You can detach a material from him to special summon a non-effect monster. I believe it's just a non-effect. Yeah, target one non-effect monster in your graveyard and special summon it. So if a Crimsonite is in graveyard, you can target that thing and special summon it, or any of your pendulums that have been sent to graveyard. This is what makes Emerald even more powerful. And as well, if you can target 3 monsters in your graveyard, shuffle them back into deck, and then draw a card. I did not think of how powerful this guy could be until I thought about putting him into this deck. Then we have 101 Silent Honor Arc. If you haven't encountered this yet, you're lucky. You can just detach 2 materials from this card and target a special summon monster your opponent controls and attaching to him as Xyz material, and you can detach material from him so you can protect him from being destroyed by battle or card effect. And finally, we have number 52, Diamond Crab King, who can detach material and switch his attack and defense, and after damage step, switch to defense mode again. But if he is attacked and has no Xyz material, he switched back to attack mode, which can maybe be your downfall. And that is all I have for the Metalfoes deck profile. If you guys got any small suggestions, I may take them. But that is what I've got for the Metalfoes deck profile. If you guys like this video, like, share, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye!